Bootcamp. Thank you so much for continuing your learning journey with us until now. Um, I am your host, Piyusha, as you all know me. And we have Pankaj with us today. Pankaj is a marketing champion and an expert in marketing cloud. Before I hand it over to Pankaj, just want to share this for everyone's sanity. We'll be recording the session and you'll be able to see everything on YouTube. If you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A section, not in the chat box, please, because then it gets so much confusing that we have to switch between chat and Q&A. So please post all of your questions in Q&A window only. If for I will be posting some hands-on exercises in Marketing Cloud community group on LinkedIn. So make sure you're part of that. If you're not, I will post the link here and you'll be able to join it. Register for all the remaining sessions as well, as we have some amazing content lined up. And tomorrow also we have Pankaj with us, and he'll be taking us through subscriber and data. Um, and for the most active participants, you'll be able to win swags and vouchers. So make sure you are attending all the sessions and you are just, posting questions, you're talking about it. The active participants obviously have an edge. So there you go. That's all from me. Over to you, Pankaj.
Hi everyone. Okay. So was it echoing or is it only for me, Piyusha?
No, no, no. I can hear you perfectly well.
Great. So hi everyone. Pankaj Namdev, based out of Bangalore, works for Vertical. I'm a Salesforce marketing champion, and I work in the capacity of technical architect for Marketing Cloud in my current organization. 3x certified, and I am an active community member. I do run as a part of my all good. I I do run as a part of my day-to-day activities. So I do call myself as a runner. So that's a bit about me. You have seen all the speakers, and some of them you will see along the way. So bootcamp, what we have done is till day 6. So we have completed the overview, then we have content part, email best practices, journey builder, automation. So uh, some of the key pillars of email specialist exams have been covered, as you can see. Uh, Today and tomorrow, that is day 7 and day 8, you will be with me, and I'll make sure that you are covered with this part of subscriber and data management, which sits at the bottom, at the heart of everything sits on top of it. So this becomes a very, very key, important and meaty part of email specialist. And remember, we are all are here to complete the specialist certification. So keep always that north star or goal post in mind. It's all about clearing the certification. Okay. And post that, we will be having other sessions like insights, Einstein, Q&A, etc. Now, for subscriber and data management section, this has got 26% leverage on the whole paper. So effectively what we are saying in 1/4 of the exam is based on this. If I take 100% extension, so 26%, it is one of the most important sections, because there are two sections. One is, there's another one as well, which has got 26% slice in the whole pie. So we have got 26%. And what are the different kind of expectations? So this is the syllabus, and I've got it from the Salesforce guide for image specialist certifications. What are the different type of questions that we are expecting, or the framework under which we'll be getting questions? So, for example, related to how we set up a data extension in Marketing Cloud, what could be the different nuances of setting a data extension? What are the different attributes, fields? What are the different small configurations, retentions, types of data extensions? What are these nuances based on the application that you should work on? So this is the first part that should be well aware of. Then there are multiple ways of importing the data in Marketing Cloud. Remember, Marketing Cloud is a tool to send marketing communications like emails in this particular case. What are the different mechanisms of importing the data? depending on the context. So that is the expectation that in this particular section. Then how do we segment and model subscriber and data? So basically now you have imported the data. How do you model the data? How do you set it across in different tables, lists, data extension? How do you segment them based on certain attributes? So these are the different things that are expected. Then last one is subscribers preference management. So if you know, if you've seen different preference management pages, if you open for example Zomato or Swiggy, in that case in their emails at the bottom there is a link for preference management. You open that page, what are the different attributes that they are planning to capture, how it is done out of the box way in marketing cloud is something that you should be aware. If there is a discrepancy or problem, how do we troubleshoot it? So these are the different aspects or frameworks of things that you should be aware of, right? So these are the four different key pillars under which the whole subscriber and data management is designed, the test is designed, and they're expecting your uh, knowledge on these. Always remember, what we are going to do is not theoretical, it's application based. So there's always, in the real world, there's always an application of things, just like simple tables. You learn tables or alphabets for that sake. Nobody is expecting you to know the alphabets, but everybody is expecting you to know the usage of that. How do you create words and use it in your day-to-day life? Similarly, we will be talking about core concepts over here. We will be talking about the nuances, but at the end of the day, it's all about application in the real world. How do you apply that context is something that is taken care of, right? Okay, so what are the topics that we are going to cover? So, looking at all the, and I have also done some homework based on that, and I've spoken to people who have given the email specialist examination, and I've also done some analysis on internet. So, these are the key topics that we should be aware of in order to cover email specialist under that subscriber and data management part, which is one fourth of that, slightly more than one fourth. So starting from the left hand side, subscribers, contacts, list, all subscriber table, data extensions, share data extensions, profile management. Don't get bogged down with these keywords. We'll talk about it. But for you, you need to know what are these, what it means in the certain context, what are the do's and don'ts, and what are certain nuances under each topic is something that you're expected to know. Okay, so I'll go through each one of them. But in a essence, if you cover all these topics, okay, then you are good to go from subscriber and data management part. So we'll cover all these topics in today's and tomorrow's sessions. Okay, so don't worry about it if you are not aware, but if you are aware, well and good, we will get into some specifics of it as well. Okay, so now before moving on to this session, I quickly want to understand how many people we have right now with us online. So around 23. Okay, quick show of numbers. I wanted to understand what is the kind of population is attendee population that we are having. So give me an answer in 1, 2, and 3 in the chats. So if you have less than 0 years of experience, that are you are newbie to marketing cloud, type type 1. If you are between 0 to 2 years of experience in marketing cloud, type 2. And if you are beyond 2 years, then type 3 for me. Can you type and let me know what is the particular segmentation that we are looking at? So 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1. So couple of threes. I've got couple of ones as well. Only I think one or two people have mentioned two.
Just one thing I want to highlight when Pankaj is asking about your experience, he wants to know your experience with Marketing Cloud only, not with Salesforce.
That is
Because a
true.
lot of the people I know have posted three and they have zero experience with Marketing Cloud. So please make sure you're only posting about your Marketing Cloud experience,
True.
not about Salesforce experience.
True. So zero, okay, fine. So I'm assuming zero, Ravindra is basically no experience, fine. One, three again, David, Sunita zero, fine. Experience one, okay, good. So I think we have got a mix of people. I think Piyusha over here. So starting from one end of the spectrum, which is no experience, to a couple of people who have got more than 2 to 3 years of experience in marketing cloud specifically. Okay, so I think we have got that end-to-end spectrum. So what I'll do is that helps me to understand two things. First of all, this is the segmentation that I've been talking about, and I'll be talking about that we do as a marketer in marketing cloud. So this is segmentation I have actually asked you to do. So real life examples. So now based on this data where you have given me 0, 2, 1, and 3, I can actually segregate you in different sections and then work accordingly. So that's how segmentation works. So I think I'm good with that at this stage. Thanks team for providing that inputs. So now if that is done, let me quickly go back to my screen and share. Okay, so how should we prepare for certifications? So the whole agenda of this sessions or boot camp is to prepare for certification and get it qualified. Okay, some of you don't have experience in marketing cloud, some of you have good experience in marketing cloud. So as I said, we have got both the spectrums over here. So in that particular context, uh, how you should actually prepare for certifications. So there are two parts to it. First part is the knowledge part or the gyan as they say. So what do we know? We should have the knowledge of the topics, the keywords that I mentioned in the previous slide. We should have knowledge of those topics, one or two level down details in terms of what it means, where it is applicable, what are the pros and cons of using it or not using it, whether you can use it in that particular scenario or not. Of course, it always helps if you have hands-on application of those topics. So if you have used, for example, shared data extension, it becomes easier for you to contextualize the questions that are coming in the certifications, because certifications questions are not simple alphabets. They require you to speak a certain language. If I'm taking example of alphabets to words, so that is first part where you need to have a topic understanding. Second part is you need to prepare for the examination. Okay, you need to know what examination is expecting you to know. So that is very important part in our preparation. Okay, so two different things. First is knowledge. Second is how do we prepare for that particular exam, because exam is expecting you to know certain things in a certain way. You need to understand that. That is very important. So from that perspective, what are the kind of questions that are coming? Okay, they might be related to all subscriber. You have only heard of it, but it will ask you a certain specific context. So what are the kind of questions? So you need to know the kind of mock questions that are there. You need to also prepare for those mock questions. Okay, so that is also important, so that you are simulated in a way that you know what kind of expected questions you are coming. So you are mentally prepared with time of context, plus you have that hands-on knowledge or preparation that will help you to prepare for certifications. Okay, so don't leave mock preparation out of the question. Always use that, because that is your goal post where you are floating towards or going towards. So always remember, you are here to pass an exam, of course with the help of knowledge, but also with the knowledge of the type of questions that might be asked, so that you are mentally prepared, right? Preparing for an exam and appearing for an exam are two different things. Always remember that. Okay, last important thing is I've left for is asking for advice. So what I do is, and this is I do it on a personal front. I would request, if you want, you can also do the same. So what I do is I go on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, so you might, if you want, you can also connect with me on LinkedIn and ask for advice. So I go on LinkedIn, and what I do is I check who have recently passed a particular certification. So if I'm planning for email specialist, I basically reach out to those people on LinkedIn and ask for their guidance as to where are some of the mock questions that they have prepared from. Is there any internet source which provides some mock preparation that I can do? So those kind of advice, or what are the topics that I should be prepared more. So for example, in subscriber and data management, I get an advice that prepare properly for data extensions example. So I will invest some more time into data extension and revise the topic. So that is the advice that I seek from people who have already passed that certification. So that is another important point. You can also use that in your day-to-day life. If you're preparing for that, please do make sure that you ask for advice from people. I mean, you ask for 5 people, at least 1 or 2 will respond. In my case, I've always done that. So whichever certification in the future you are doing right now, email specialist, tomorrow you will graduate to consultant, example, or developer in that sake, use this trick. It always helps. Ask for people who have prepared or cleared it, and they will give you a clear cut guidance of which topic to invest more time on, less time on. These are the tips and strategies of passing the certifications I'm giving you, right? Knowledge is one part, second part is how to pass the exam. Okay, moving on. But quickly before that, I wanted to check how many of you have scheduled the exam already. Has anybody scheduled the exam? Has anybody scheduled the email certification exam, or none of you have as of now scheduled it? Anyone with yes, no, no? Shankar hasn't. Anyone has? The chances are that you be actually not scheduling it right now. No. So none of you have scheduled it. Fine. One of the key things that I've learned with experience in marketing cloud or in any certification is you fix a date. Okay, I understand there would be some practical scenarios where you won't be having this voucher, so you won't be doing that, or whatever the case may be. But from a practical sense of point, fix a date. Okay, even if it is you're not scheduling it on website, fine, but fix a date. That's very important. You have to come from a certain angle, that I have only 2 weeks left, 3 weeks left. That's how human psychology works. Fix a schedule, and that's how study accordingly. Otherwise you'll keep on moving the goalpost, which everybody including me uh, is been, what do you say, used to. We have done it in the past, but we don't recommend that. Okay, let's go back now. So now that concepts is clear, let's get on to the specifics of it. What is a contact? What is a subscriber? These are two interrelated things or interchangeable terminologies that are used a lot within marketing cloud in general and within email studio. So email studio is one part of marketing cloud, okay, in which you are, as a channel, we are targeting people on emails. When I say channel, I mean which where we are reaching out to the subscriber. Is it email, SMS, mobile push? It could be on Facebook, it could be on social media. These are different channels on which we target the subscriber, but in our context of the things, it's only emails, so hence email studio. So what is a contact and what is a subscriber? This concept is very important for you to understand from a foundational standpoint. So if you see, for any contact, if you see the contact which is sitting in the middle, any contact on the left hand side, these are the, and on the right hand side, these are the key attributes that you capture for that particular person. Okay, so for example, if it is for example, if it is on the left hand side, it's demographics. Demographics is where do you live, kind of location. Channel identifiers, which channel you need to be targeted. Email is one, it could be SMS, it could be mobile push, it could be ad, it could be social, it could be WhatsApp, it could be line messaging. These are the various channels through which you can target a particular customer. In this context, only email. Preferences, what are his or her preferences? He requires an email once a week, twice a week. He only wants email, he doesn't want email, he only wants SMSs. These are the different preferences that you capture for a particular contact. His or her behavioral data could be how much time he has spent on the website, how much time he has spent on the e-commerce site. These are the behavioral data, which pages he or she has clicked or spent most time on. Transactional data, how many products he or she has purchased on the e-commerce site. These are transactional data. Intelligence, what could be an example for intelligence data? Any idea, team? Anyone? I gave example for all of them. Quickly, if you are aware, just type in the chat box what could be an example of attributes that can be captured from uh, intelligence part. Report is okay. AI, okay. What else? Okay. Search history, okay. Search history might come in the segment of this particular scenario as well. So search history would be, let me go back, would be is a part of behavioral data as well. Let's keep that. for now. Okay, I'll come back to it. But yeah, I think you got the context of what all attributes can be captured for a particular subscriber. Okay, as I said, location, name, which channel he or she needs to be, so let's say email preferences, he wants email only. Behavioral data, he spends x number of minutes on a particular product page. Transaction, he has purchased these many products in the last 6 months, etc. Now, how to model that in Marketing Cloud? Now, to model it, basically what happens is, if you see on the left hand side, you can use list or data extension. So list and data extensions are two different models, data models within Marketing Cloud. List being a old and outdated one, slowly and slowly getting outdated, and data extension is the one that is getting prevalence. So these are two data models in which you store the data. Okay, so on the left hand side, if you see demographics data, which is where he or she is living, city, country, example, channel identifiers, preferences, these all can be stored in both list or data extensions. Okay, both of the data structures provide you the flexibility. On the right hand side, behavioral data, transactional data. These are the data sets that you can only store in data extensions. I'll come to that, but for simplicity, just try and understand two data models. One is data extension, which is nothing but tables, simply creating tables the way you want it. Okay, just like in Excel sheet, you create a table, right? Whatever attributes you want to configure, you do it. List is much more bound. You can only create in a certain structure. So hence, on the left hand side, it's only list or data extension. Right hand side, there's no list. So that's how you map these kind of attributes. Okay, so now a contact. Now if you see, there is on the left hand side, there are contact and subscriber. What is the difference between the two? Okay, and if in Marketing Cloud conversations, you will see that these are more or less used interchangeably, but they are technically different. Okay, they're different entities if you call it technically in Marketing Cloud. Okay, see it from a perspective of Marketing Cloud and Email Studio. From that perspective, Marketing Cloud sits on the top. Email Studio is one particular feature of Marketing Cloud. There are 10 other features. Email Studio is one specific one. Okay, so look at from that perspective of subset and superset. So if I want to show it with an example, something like this. So a contact is a person who with whom you can reach out in any channel. Okay, so contact can be reached out through email, WhatsApp, line messaging, social media. You can reach out with them on SMS, mobile push, in-app, 10 different channels. Subscriber, which is a subset under a contact, it can be only reached out in a particular studio, in this case Email Studio. Okay, so basically what we are saying is contact key is subscriber key within Marketing Cloud, sorry, Email Studio. So contact works on Marketing Cloud level, subscriber works on Email Studio level. Okay, so coming back to my PPT. So over here, if you see, what we are saying is contact key. So contact key is the main key which binds all the subscriber within marketing, all the contacts within Marketing Cloud. Subscriber key within Email Studio. Okay, so from that perspective, you can within Email Studio, if you are talking, we only call it subscriber key. So I'll only use subscriber key, but to give you the concept of contact key and subscriber key within Marketing Cloud, sorry, Email Studio, it's only subscriber key. Now, what can be different type of subscriber keys? There are different type of subscriber keys that can be used within Email Studio. Some examples are here, like MDM ID. This is the ID that is coming from an external system that you can use. A loyalty number, a CRM ID. If your Marketing Cloud is integrated with Sales or Service Cloud, Salesforce CRM, then you can use their 18-digit ID. It could be email address, however, not advisable to use email address, or it could be a self-generated unique ID within Marketing Cloud. That could also be a contact key. Okay, so contact key could be multiple things, right? Now, what could be the different identifiers? So now, from a marketing cloud perspective, in the contact key landscape, what are the different channels? I spoke of 8 or 9. These are 3 only mentioned. We'll talk about it. See, email studio, if you go in email studio, email address is the main subscriber key or main key within that studio. If you go to mobile connect, mobile number is the main key. So basically, with the help of mobile number, this is a channel identifier. Basically, you will send a email SMS to a mobile number, right? So that is how it is. In email studio, you send an email via email address. So that's the email address. In mobile push is in-app push. So like Swiggy's and Zomatos, you get push notifications every now and then, especially on Fridays or any rainy day, you get notifications for biryanis. The identifier that is used is device ID. So there is a gibberish number device ID, which is used, which is sent by the mobile SDK to the app, iOS or Android, whatever the case may be. So this is the device ID which is used over here. So different channels, different identifiers we are using, but contact key is the one which binds everything. One contact key. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to identify one single source of person. Okay, so I hope everybody is with me till now. Team, everybody understands contact and subscriber key mechanism? Okay. Any questions till now? Okay. Any examples of mobile ID? So when you say mobile ID, I think you mentioned about this device ID, right? I'm presuming you are. So it's a number. It's a not human readable number. When I say human readable number, it doesn't look like a mobile number or email address. It's a number in an octet. Okay, so that's how it looks like. So let me see if I can show you some device ID. So this is how it looks like. So it could be device ID, could be like this. So basically it's not used by humans, or for example like this, it should be looking like this. So it's sent by the mobile app, which is in which you are sending the message via the SDK. So SDK is a software development that the mobile developers use, and they send it across to marketing clouds. So in my case, I don't have it configured, otherwise I would have shown you. So I hope that is clear. Anything else? Okay, so just give me a moment.
In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can post them in the Q&A for Pankaj.
Apologies, team. Saturday, some practicality kicks in, something or the other keeps on moving. So, okay, let's go back. Okay, so now we are done with contact and subscriber key. Okay, contact, remember, contact is on the superset on the SFMC level, and subscriber is within email studio. Okay, and those two are unique. We should choose only unique. So I'll talk about the quickly some of the key things. So let me show you that quickly once more. Okay, so like this. So if you take an example, I've just taken a trailhead link. So if you see mobile push, mobile connect, email, and all these different identifiers are there. See, so device ID, mobile, these are separate ones. If I don't choose a single contact key across marketing cloud, these will be different subscribers or contacts. That means 4 people inside. think logically that you don't know who is this particular person. That's how you need to choose. That's why we need to choose a unique contact key across Marketing Cloud. Okay, and it's a system, not a system defined, a user defined, so you can choose. And I gave some examples of it, like these are some of the examples. Email address is something which is not advisable, don't use that, but certainly in some cases I've seen people using it, so not advisable. But yes, that's how the difference is between contact key. Now again, quickly, whatever I have spoken, I'll just recap that so that it's easier for you. So contact is a person to whom you might or might not actually send a contact. It's, you can store it for now. Okay. uh, all contact, a so basically a subscriber can be a contact, because it's a subscriber can be a contact, but not necessarily a contact can be a subscriber, right? Can you see this superset and subset relationship? So always remember, contact can be a subscriber, but a subscriber not necessarily needs to be a contact. So for example, I've only registered in Marketing Cloud to receive WhatsApp messages. In that particular case, I don't have a subscriber key, but I'm a contact. Okay, another example. If I have registered in Marketing Cloud to get an email, in that case, I am a subscriber in Email Studio, as well as I am in a contact as well. Saw the difference? So all subscribers are contacts because it's inside this, but not necessarily all contacts are subscriber, because there is a non-overlapping area as well. So this is a methodology called Venn diagram to explain this scenario. Okay, a subscriber is a person basically who's opted to receive. So a subscriber, they have opted in to receive email communication. uh, for simplicity, we are saying Email Studio, but it could be other channels as well, and they live in certain studios. In our case, it's Email Studio. Then there are different kind of keys. Contact keys, as I said, contact key is a key that is used unique across a particular person across Marketing Cloud. So that is contact key. It's user defined, you can define it. Okay, and it's basically allows you to hold a particular contact across different channels in whole of Marketing Cloud. Because I'm not sure whether you're aware or not, in Marketing Cloud the billing happens based on the number of contacts that you have. More the contacts, the count gets more and the charges gets more. Now in that context, you need to make sure you minimize it. So if in this example, imagine if you had 4 different people. So if you don't use a proper contact key mechanism, these will be 4 different people living in Marketing Cloud. However, we know logically it's one single person. So you will be charged for 4, not 1. So that's a very key important thing. Plus, that's on the commercial side. On the customer side, uh, you don't know whether these 4 subscribers are interconnected or not. Then how would you able to do personalization and at scale and the real time basis? So if I receive an email, okay, for a particular product interest, and I'm sending SMS for a different type of product, and I'm sending, for example, a push notification for third type of product, it's basically the touch points, customer touch points is broken, right? So if I know it is a one single person, then I can make sense of that he or she is interested in particular type of product. Let's send SMS notifications based on that, right? Makes sense, right? Everybody with me? This is a core concept of Marketing Cloud. Contact key, make sure you use it properly. It binds the subscribers across Marketing Cloud. So from a commercial standpoint, from a customer standpoint, and from a Marketing Cloud technical standpoint. I hope everybody is with me and not getting bored. Okay, so let's quickly rush a bit. What is subscriber key? Subscriber key I've already explained, so I'm not getting into specifics of it. Some of the best practices. I explained you the concept between contact and subscriber. Contact key has to be consistent across all channels. One single contact key that has to be used across Marketing Cloud. Whether I'm using a WhatsApp, whether I'm using email, SMS, mobile, in-app, push, social media, everything, one single contact key. Deliberate and decide what is the contact subscriber key at the beginning of the project. After comes a mammoth task to change it. Make sure that you choose the contact key wisely in the beginning. Idea is not mail address as subscriber key, because there are certain inherent issues. So for example, if a family is using it, family might be 4 people might be using one single address, so you won't be able to personalize that conversation with them. You will be only writing one single person. So it's not advisable to use email address as a subscriber key. Okay, so that's about base of contact and subscriber. From here on, we'll move faster. Okay, now what I'll do is quickly, since I have 15 minutes, what I'll do is I'll give you a glimpse of some of the questions that might come in. Okay, we won't go into specifics of those questions, but to give you a context of what kind of questions, and these are mock questions which are freely available on the internet. Okay, so you can also go and check it out for yourself. Okay, and don't believe on the authenticity of the answers. A lot of times the answers are not correct, so you have to judge yourself based on your understanding to judge the answers, but based on your knowledge. I'll quickly show you a couple of them, and then we'll go back to our topics, because from here on it will be faster. So for example, let me do a slideshow. For example, Northern Trailer outfit data model consists of multiple tables, including tables with sendable data. Just don't think about the keyword sendable data, we'll cover it. Tables that relate to subscribers like purchases, store locations. The related tables do not contain sendable data. How should the data be stored in Marketing Cloud? So basically, the question is with respect to how do we set the data in Marketing Cloud within data extensions or list. That is the context of the question. So this is how the questions would be like. Without getting into answers, let me go into the next question. I'm just giving you a flavor of kind of questions that are expected. Application of knowledge. Okay, knowledge I'm giving as a part of basics, but this is the end goal for you. Hence, I'm giving you questions as well. And we'll cover these in details in tomorrow's session as well. A marketing team creates a new data extension. It's a table. The data extension configuration is very similar to a data extension which is already used. So there is already a data extension. You're creating a new one, which is nothing. Data extension is nothing but a table in Marketing Cloud. What are the creation methods that the team should use? So basically, there are different types of methods which are used to create data extensions. This question dwells into details of which kind of method would be used, right? So that's from a data extensions perspective, the methodology of creating data extensions. Don't get into specifics of it. Always remember, I'm just giving you a flavor of what kind of applications are coming. We'll cover those questions in details. A marketer is updating a data extension by manually importing. Again, I mentioned import of data. Obviously, you need to get the subscribers from somewhere. So you import it with the help of CSV file. We'll look into that. The marketer wants to ensure that only new records are updated in the data extensions during the import process. Only new records are updated. Okay, the new, so for example, there were 100 already existing in the data extension, and you are importing again 110, out of which 10 is new, 100 are old, for example. What are the mechanisms in which imports can be configured? So basically, this is asking about some of the configurations that are done as a part of import of the data, right? So that is the question around how do I make the configuration changes while importing the data. So keep an eye on that when we cover that. Another last one that I'll cover, and then we'll go back to our list. Northern Trailer Outfitter uses data extensions for sending email messages, right? They need to ensure when a subscriber opt-outs, they opt out at a list level. Which tool should be used? Now, this is unsubscribing or opting out. Okay. Again, we have a topic that we are planning to cover tomorrow, but what are the mechanisms that are used in order to opt him or her out? We need to be aware of all those mechanisms. So that's the question all around. So now going back to our slide deck. So I hope you are now understanding what kind of questions you are expecting. The idea behind showing you those questions was to make sure that we are aware where we are going, right? It's no use of actually only having knowledge or gyan and don't know where we need to go with that. So that's the reason behind showcasing those kind of mock questions, which are similar to the nature of questions you might get over there. Not necessarily these are the questions you'll get, but at least you know the nuances of what needs to be studied in this particular topic. Let me know if that was helpful, team, by looking at those questions. Can I guess yes, 1 or 0, 1 or 0 in the chat, 1 or 0 in the chat to show 1, yes, it was helpful. and you want me to continue doing it in the next session as well? Great. Looks like, yeah, it helped. So as I said, these are very helpful to know which kind of questions you are trying to apply. For example, in data extension, okay, these are the nuances that I need to be aware of. So data extension knowledge is one thing. What kind of questions you might be expecting, at least in terms of configurations, nuances, is very important. So I hope that was helpful, as everybody concurred with me. Okay, and important next is list. Okay, so list is something that, as I mentioned, there are two data models, list being the older one. uh, More and more we are using into moving in towards data extensions, and I don't recollect there are many questions around how do I use list to send emails, but certainly you should be aware of the basics. You never know, that question might pop up. Okay, so what is a subscriber list? Subscriber list is a way to hold the subscriber data, you and my data or your data. Two important fields within that: one is your email address, okay, and another is your subscriber key. Subscriber key we have spoken a lot about, okay, and then the other two attributes, these are two mandatory: email address and subscriber key. Email address is mandatory because, of course, you need to know to whom you're sending email. Subscriber key is important because binding contact key across Marketing Cloud and unique across subscriber key in Email Studio. And then we have got profile and preference attributes. These are the profile attributes and preferences for a particular subscriber. So that is a subscriber list. And then they can judge whether the particular contact is good to receive emails, is not good. When I say not good, whether it's undeliverable, whether it's bounced, whether it's he or she is unsubscribed, those kind of 4 different statuses are stored. 4 different statuses, you should be aware of it. And based on which one, I'll talk about. So subscriber key, we spoke about some of the examples of subscriber key. It could be email, less preferred, not recommended. It could be in the form of this format. In one of my previous experiences, we used in one of the experiences, we had a unique key, 18-digit unique key generated within Marketing Cloud. There's a function in AMP script called GUID function. It generates randomly, not randomly, but unique numbers, 18-digit or 16-digit number it generates. We use them as subscriber key. That's one example. Another example was we used brand hyphen email address. In this case, it was the brand, let's say brand is the email address of that particular contact as subscriber key, or contact key, sorry, not subscriber, contact key. This is one of the things we chose. Then this is the 18-digit number which is coming from Marketing Cloud, Salesforce CRM, if you are integrated. Third example. So these are the different subscriber statuses that are there. So active, bounced, held, or undeliverable, and unsubscribed. Okay, active means basically I can, as a marketer, basically marketer, I'm using the terminology marketer. Marketer is a person who works in Marketing Cloud. Okay, so I will showcase that. By the way, before I move on, you might have seen two quick thanks to Shivu, who has provided his permissions to use these slide decks, which he has already used somewhere. So I'm just repurposing it. And second thing is my good friend from Senpai Technologies, Ankush, has provided me the access to this org to showcase that. So I showcase that with the help of this org. So this is where and I'm assuming your email studio session, you might have seen this. So I'm not covering that in details, but within email studio, if I click on this and I click on subscriber and click on list, this is the list that comes across that I'll be talking about. So, and I'll quickly show you the statuses as well. List I'll be running through because there are not many questions that are expected to come out of list. So basically you need to know what is the differences, what are the nuances of it. That's it. The expectation of questions coming from list are less and more from data extension. As I told, it's an older one. Data extension, list is an older mechanism of storing. More specific to Marketing Cloud, data extension is much more flexible. So that's the future. In fact, I haven't used list in my working experiences to store the data, subscriber data. All I have used is in Marketing Cloud is data extensions, to be honest. Okay, so in one of the folders that I've created inside list, if you see, I have created two list. Okay, so you can simply create it with the help of this name. So let's say sample, description, where I want to store it, and then save it. I won't save it, it's already created. So that's how I created sample demo list one, and that's how it looks like. I've added two records inside this. Okay, so if I manually adding the records, quickly have a look, because I'm planning to cover it in next 5 to 10 minutes. So two key fields: subscriber key,
Hi,
email, which are
Pankaj.
mandatory. Rest all profiles which
Your
are
network
already.
on.
Come again. Voice is lagging. Is it only for me?
Yes,
Is it
I'm
better
saying
now?
yes. So I feel your network is a bit unstable because we were not able to, hear anything which you were sharing. So maybe you can
I'll
just
switch off my video.
okay,
So that is the first thing I can do. And let me know if it becomes better.
okay, perfect.
Oh, okay. So this is just another case of rebooting. Reboot the laptop and it works. So that scenario. Okay. I hope everybody was aware of these four different statuses plus one. I'll talk about delete later. But these are the four different subscriber statuses. These are important. So from a standpoint of exam as well as foundational knowledge. So was everybody able to hear that? Right.
We were like, I guess everyone was able to hear this, but when you were showing the demo, we missed you on the spot actually.
Sure. So let me quickly cover that back. So basically, what I meant was, with the help of my friends in SaintPy Technology, I'm able to show you this demo. So in this org, you might have seen this email studio. You click on this, then click on subscriber and click on list. That's where we are. So I've created one of the folders in which I've created two lists. And how I've done it? By putting the nomenclature or name of that, telling the system where to store it, and then saving it. And that's how I've created this. And then once I go inside it, there are two ways to actually add the records in the list. I've added two of them for your scenario. See, I have used the subscriber key over here as the number, a unique number, not the email address. Status is active. Active. Four statuses, as I told you: active, held, unsubscribed, and there's one more. What's that? Bounced. Yes, four of them. So as of now, since I've added them, these are active in nature. How do I create these records? One way is creating manually one by one. Second way is importing. Okay. So let me just quickly show you how to create it manually. First, subscriber key. Let me add something, add an email address. Okay. Next, tell it where to be stored. It's already pre-selected, and then finish. I'm not adding it since I've already added it. So it'll store the records manually or create the records manually within that particular list. Another way is to import. How do I import it? It's very simple. It's just like a wizard that you might have used on internet to upload files and all. So it works in a similar way. Small one or two things are a bit different, but certainly it works in a very similar way. This is the opt-in consideration that it talks about, where it says make sure that you have opt-in for me. Okay, you have already taken the opt-in before sending the emails. It's a legal requirement. I'll check box and select next. Where is the file located? I can choose it from my computer or an FTP drive. uh, let's skip for that discussion from a later time, FTP, but your computer I'll choose. And then these are the update options. Remember, there was one of the questions which is on a similar lines, not related to list, but it was data extensions. But add new subscribers and update the already exists. So remember, if I had, there are already 100 records in this list and I'm adding 110, in which 100 are basically old ones and 10 are new ones, as an example. So if there are old 100, there are 10 changed and 10 are new. So that's how this function will work. Add new subscribers and update the subscriber that already exist. Okay, then add new subscribers, but do not update the list already existing one. So don't touch the 100 one, only add the extra 10. And third one is update existing subscribers, but do not add to the list. So only update the 100 amongst the 100 that are already existing, but not the new 10. So you can choose whatever mechanism you want. I'll quickly upload this file. Okay, click on next. It's a very simple wizard. Okay, the way we have been using. Remember, we had two fields were mandatory: subscriber key and area, which is already mapped, as you see on the right hand side, because it has picked. One thing which is not mapped is email address, and I'll map it. If you see, now all three required ones are mapped. Two of them are system required, one we have already made required as a part of this configuration of the system. So hence three of them are required, and then we create next and then upload it. I won't do it for now, but certainly this is how you import the data. So two ways: manually you can create it, import it. Now coming back to the statuses, now that you have uploaded the data, if you can see, three important fields: email address, status, subscriber key. Then there are tens of different fields on this particular list, and this list, these are all the attributes, by the way, that have been created by me or somebody else in the system. Some of them are system created. This is very stringent, so you have to follow this method of list creation. You cannot create any other column if you want, in the sense, if you want to choose some other column type for subscriber, you cannot create it. Status, it's very stringent list. This is how it is, you got to do it. That's with list. With data extension, it's pretty flexible. Do whatever you want. Make sure you follow one or two best practices or recommended practice. That's it. So data extension provides you flexibility, hence a lot of people use it. And it's been projected by Marketing Cloud, like in Journey Builder. You might have seen Journey Builder as well. Journey Builder uses data extension as an example. So let me just quickly show you all subscriber. I'll cover this table in a moment, but this thing, again, this is all subscriber list only. So if you see, these are the different statuses: active, bounced. What bounced means? Okay, what does bounce means? Let me see if we are other statuses as well. So since it is a relatively new org, not all four of them are reflected over here. It's only active and bounced. Okay, but it could be unsubscribed as well. Okay, and held or undeliverable. Okay, let me just go back to the specifics of the definitions. I've added that link. So basically what they mean, each one of them, is active is all good, green signal, hence it is shown by the name of green. Active is all good, you can send the emails. Okay, unsubscribed is, as a user, I have manually unsubscribed from receiving your emails, so it is unsubscribed, it is red. You're not supposed to send the emails to that. Even if you want, Marketing Cloud won't let you send it, because it's holding that data over here in all subscriber, for all the subscribers over here. So it will go and check, and it will see, oh, it is unsubscribed. For example, in this case, this one, it will mark it, it won't send it. Even if you want, it won't allow you to send it. Okay, so but these are the statuses that is kept over here. I've added the details of what each means in details. Bounced, okay, what bounce means if you're sending the email, and because of reasons like the email box is full, the email doesn't exist, depending on what kind of soft bound or hard bounce it is bounced. So basically, one or two soft bounce are received for the subscriber. Soft bounce, basically email box is full. Soft bounce, basically you retry. Hard bounce is received, basically it doesn't exist on that domain, so that's a hard bounce. That entails bounce. Undeliverable, so basically undeliverable, that they have tried three hard bounces or three soft bounces in past 15 days. So these are the definitions basically held. Unsubscribed is I spoke unsubscribed. Okay, so these are the four different types of statuses that are there. This is very important, you should be aware of it. You might be asked questions based on this. And one is deleted. Basically you can delete it from a particular list other than all subscriber. Not advisable, but certainly you can do if you want. We don't recommend deleting subscriber. Okay, so just it's a 4+1, majorly four of them are considered. Okay, where are we with respect to time now? Okay, 5 minutes. So let me see where I can end quickly. So I'm not covering bounce management in detail. What I've done is I've added slide deck where it shows the flow chart of how bounce system calculates the bounce. It's between the marketing cloud and the ISPs. Let's say Gmail. ISPs means internet service providers like Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo.coms of the world. They interact with each other in terms of bounce happened, how many retries I need to do, what is the response after that. So this full flow chart is there. It's something good to read for you. All subscribers. So let me quickly complete this and park it for the day. So all subscribers. Okay. So this is all subscriber table, which is first one over here in the subscribers. So all subscriber table is a system table that is already pre-created by Marketing Cloud, with the help of which you can do is it holds and it is at the parent level. I'm presuming you might have done business units for your consideration. These are these containers under which the contact lives or subscriber live. So in my case, there's only one parent. Okay, so I'm at the top level, but it could be parent and child. Okay, so all subscriber is always set at the top level, at the parent level. It's basically a roll up. So if you at each child BU level, you can see all subscriber table as well. Okay, if you want, you can segregate it. So for example, if it is parent 1, child A and child B, okay, in that case, if you want, you can segregate the contacts going in each one of them. So if this is a parent 1, and for example, this is child 1, parent, this is child 1, and let's say this is again child 2. Okay, so child 2. So all subscriber, and for example, if it contains, let's say 10 contacts, this contains 10 contacts. Okay, so parent will contain in all subscriber 20 contacts, like that. Okay, however, this needs to be configured as a part of attributes. So by default, if you don't make any changes, all 20 of them will be reflected over here. All 20 will be reflected in child business units. But if you make certain changes, which if required, I'll cover that tomorrow if time provides, you would be able to segregate it. Let's say this is 10, this is 10, but all subscriber over here will show only 10. All subscriber at this BU level only show will 10, and this will be rolled up. So for all 20, but by default, it always will show 20 and 20 over here. If you want, you can restrict it. I hope that funda is clear with all subscriber. This is with respect to all subscriber. So now this all subscriber table, of course, if you see, it's a list. So list has got two things important: email address, status, subscriber key. In fact, three things common, important. Okay, and then there are the extra set of profile attributes. If you see subscribe date, reason, last name, first name, country, gender, etc., etc., these all have been created. We'll talk about it tomorrow in terms of profile management, preference management. Yeah, so all subscriber. So basically all subscriber, couple of things you should know with respect to the context of the exam. All subscriber is common across business units unless you restrict it. All subscriber has three different columns which are very important: status, subscriber key, email address. This is only with respect to all subscriber, only exist in Email Studio. Four different statuses: active, unheld, held, then you've got bounced, and then you've got there's one more I keep on forgetting. Then you've got unsubscribed, held, undelivered, bounced, and active. Active is yes. These are the four ones. And then you can obviously, if you want, you can update the data. You can create the data. You can search from here for each subscriber. Okay. Now here's an interesting thing. If you add anything over here in this particular record, so for example, I had added these records manually. If I use this subscriber key over here and save it, I use the subscriber key and check it over here. So as soon as I insert the records in that particular list over here, it will be marked as active. So I can search with it. So with the help of subscriber key equal to this, let me find now. So this is just to show you that relationship. Okay, over here, this is this email address. So see, it's got this email address. Over here, it shows everything. If you want to unsubscribe, what are the attributes that have been filled, which list it's part of. It's part of sample demo list. Groups is nothing but segmentation within lists. So which groups it is passed of, what history it is, etc., etc. So by default, it's marked as active as soon as you enter it in this list. Okay, and it's mapped over here, even though I haven't sent the emails. Okay, it's different in data extensions. So as soon as I upload it, it's there. It's an active mode. Until unless there are some reasons for the system to make it other three. Okay, so that is about all subscriber. So you should be aware of. Then we have got import. I have already spoken about import in list. Send email. Let me just it's already 10 minutes past 12 over here. So let me cover that quickly tomorrow. And then I'll move on to data extension, the biggest part of it. And then what we'll do is tomorrow the session might extend. Let me know if the team is not comfortable. I will try and complete that within that span of 1 hour. But 1 hour certainly would be less because I'm planning to complete those questions. I've got around 8 to 10 questions which are there in my library. If we want, we can have some more questions, but 8 to 10 should be good enough to give you the flavor of the type of questions you would be expecting. Okay, so in that context, I'll take a quick pause and see what is the opinion with the people with respect to doing the sessions tomorrow. If we can extend a bit. Okay, yes please, yes please. Looks like everybody is interested in passing their certifications. Yeah, good, because I'm also interested in reliving my memory of clearing it. So, and always remember, these questions keep on changing. So whatever I'm suggesting, take it as with a pinch of salt. See, don't come back and say this question didn't come. So these are freely available on the internet, and I'm just procuring it to give you a taste or flavor of the questions you should accept, because studying is different, appearing in an exam is different. Two different things. So you have to prepare for the exam. Remember that. On that note, any questions, team? We're not able to hear you, Pisha.
Sorry. Okay, we do have two questions. Can you please click on the Q&A at the bottom?
Q&A. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
How to avoid duplication of email address in Email Studio, because same email with different subscriber key can exist. Any best practices around this? Okay, so these are not duplicates in first context. So remember, me and Pisha are there. Okay, we have let's say we are using Salesforce ID as a contact key. Remember, so contact key for me is, let's say, 110, and contact key for Pisha is 112. Two different people, two different contact key. Ideally, there shouldn't be the scenario that we both will be using the same email address, which your question is asking, the use case. But even if it happens, okay, the chances are very less. Even if it happens, there is no way for you to actually say logically that these are single person or different person, because contact keys two, that means there are two people. Even if they are sharing the email, fine. I mean, this is something that you are planning to avoid, but it didn't happen. So ideally it shouldn't happen. But if it happens, these are two different contacts in Marketing Cloud, two different people with one single email. If you want, you can deduplicate it. There was one scenario in my previous organization where this happened. So you cannot call it a duplicate contact. However, you can call it a duplicate email address. So logically, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just that two different people are using the same email address. Then you cannot in personalization would be at risk for those two people. So me and Pisha, if you are using the same email address, then probably you won't be able to mark it out whether to write hi Pisha or hi Pankaj, because there would be a problem in that. Chances are very less for that. Let's quickly move on to the next one. When should we use attribute group data and journey? Journey is something I think already has been covered, if I'm not wrong. But attribute group in our journey, basically attribute group is nothing but a collection of tables. Okay, simply put, related tables. Okay, so customers orders, and then products example. So this is a example of an attribute group. Now how should we, when should we use? So now, for example, if your sendable data extension, I'm going into journey builder for example, so if not everybody is aware of it, fine, but specifically to this question. So now customer purchased whatever orders you have, product you have purchased, and third table is in the line products. Now the sendable data extension is customer. Now if you have used that attribute group, you can actually traverse in the journey to see the SKU for that product, for example from the third table, instead from looking out separately. So you're related for that particular customer, what is the products, for example laptop. Now in the customer order table, SKU won't be there. You can traverse to the third table which has got the SKU details, and you can pull it in that same journey. That's the advantage of using an attribute group. Otherwise you would have to query for that customer, go into this table and then go to the third table to get that value. So that's the use case advantage of using attribute group in a journey. Sorry, is there any difference between contact key and contact ID? So contact key is user generated, contact ID is system generated. Simplistic. Okay. What else is there? Are you going to cover attribute group tomorrow's topic? No, that's not a part of attribute group, is not a part that comes under email studio. That's a separate thing. Okay, so that comes under the purview of marketing cloud. So it sits on the top of marketing cloud, not inside email studio. So no, we are not going to cover that. Can we use list in journeys? If yes, then how we can use it? Data extensions is the way to go. So from a understanding perspective, basics perspective, my recommendation is to use data, learn about list. There are some key system list that we should be using, but list doesn't have much application in day-to-day life. As I said, I haven't used anything related to list in my life, in the sense in past 5-6 years I don't use list. We use data extensions, and that's the moving forward way. So from exam perspective, we should be knowing the differences, when to use what. That's it. What else do we have? I think those are it. Anything else, team? Anything in general specific to marketing cloud? All good? Can you please from bounce management tomorrow? Fine. Okay, I'll quickly cover bounce management. You need not to get, from exam perspective, need not to get into specifics of how bounce works. Okay, you need to understand what the status is, what scenario it happens. It's a complex flowchart. Okay, which each ESP different, but I'll cover